Welcome back, guys. It's King Chad, and today we have a review of a new video game that I played with a friend of mine. Well, I didn't play with them. I played it, and they played it, and we both have different takes on it. We have a few things we agree on, and a few things we don't. And really, there's a lot to discuss. Say hi to the people, Angie. She's my co-host for this.
Hello.
Absolutely. And the game we played was a game called Kena Bridge of Spirits. This is, I guess, the best way to describe it would be an action adventure game, sort of an exploring game. There's a lot of combat in it. It is very combat heavy, so maybe more on the action side. There's also a lot of puzzle solving, though. So, once again, puzzle solving adventure that kind of goes in together. I think if you were looking it up on Wikipedia, that's how they would describe it, at least. So, I'm going to be your Wikipedia surrogate and describe it that way. So there are a few points I really want to hit on. I'm going to go ahead and start this off, and Angie, follow my lead. The game is really pretty to look at. Me and Angie are on different systems, but I think we both agreed it is well designed and extremely well animated. And the cutscenes in particular, I noticed, like little mini movies you get every time you get to one of those points of the game. It's really, it almost feels like a Pixar or DreamWorks film at certain points when you're playing it. How do you feel about that, Andrew?
I agree with that. It's really beautiful. I love the animation. I love the storyline, but that the animation itself was like probably the main reason why I decided to play it.
Got it, got it. Spoiler warning here. I disagree with you. I disagree with you. Spoiler for the story. I think the story sucks. It's sort of so the game sort of has you as this character who's like half the Avatar from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like you're the medium between the spirit world and like the human world or whatever the human world equivalent is in this game. And also you're sort of like a psychopomp. Do you know what a psychopomp is, Angie?
No.
Psychopomp is somebody like an entity that transfers souls from this world to the next throughout various mythologies. So the Grim Reaper in Western tradition is probably the most notable psychopomp. They come and get you at the end of your life, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna take you on to the afterlife now." Various angels of death. The Black Dog, I believe, is one of the Irish psychopomps. Comes and gets like in the ye old Irish mythology, would come and get people when they died and carry them to the afterlife. There's a lot of figures like that. Anubis in ancient Egyptian mythology, and in the world of Kena Bridge of Spirits, you are the psychopomp. You are helping these spirits move on to the next life. I See, in theory, I like all these tropes. I like all these ideas. I like the idea of being a psychopomp. One of my favorite like archetypes of mythological figure or even characters in the game, I guess, is like the spirit world medium. I feel as if this game doesn't do an amazing job of really exploring that because it's supposed to be, sort of a almost not a kids game. Well, all games are kids games in theory. Kids have the most free time, but in theory, like this game's supposed to be family friendly, I guess, or it's for kids or things like that, and it's cutesy, all that type of stuff. The messaging and like the morality of it, they're keeping that together and they're trying not to go too gritty, but like why, like they never do a great job explaining why I have to beat the snot out of these spirits to get them into the afterlife. Like why do I have to, he's already dead, why am I beating him to death again, is what it feels like for me. So I feel like there's a little bit of cognitive dissonance there in terms of gameplay and story aesthetic. I feel like maybe should be different, but there are parts of the game where it's like, okay, I see what we're doing here. I like the mask symbolism. Like I said, in terms of visual design, this game is like a 10 out of 10 visual design for what it's trying to do, for its themes, the mask, the little creatures that follow you everywhere. Oh, that's another thing. The game also is like a little Pikmin aspect. To anybody who's played the game Pikmin out there, like you got these little creatures that you got to guide around and have them do stuff for you. Like
They're so cute.
they're well designed. They're cute. You can put little hats on them. Like it's nice. For what it's trying to do, it's a cute game. It's a pretty game. But on to point two of the 3 points I'm really trying to hit on. It is a hard game. Like this game is extremely difficult for a game that is marketed towards the same type of people Pixar movies are marketed towards. Like I don't know if you've ever played this game called Dark Souls or Elden Ring, Angie. This game is
No.
like Dark Souls level hard. I have had extreme difficulty every single boss I've tried to fight in this game.
Really? I thought it was like I like it because I'm not into hard games, I'll be honest. Like, I'm not much of a gamer, so I just chose this game because I thought it was nice looking. And it's like challenging, but it's also like relaxing at the same time. Like, I don't like, it's not, for, to me, it's not one of those games that is gonna have you like, it's not like playing like Call of Duty, you know? That's, you're just like, that can like stress you a little bit. This is just like more of a, like a chill game to me.
So okay, so I've got to give the audience a little background on your two hosts right now. So Angie and me are sort of opposites. I'm like a real like I'm not a hardcore gamer. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not good enough to be. That's really what it is. Like I love intense games. I like games that give me anxiety. Like that feeling she's describing, not wanting. I love that. I love competition. I love feeling like I'm fighting for my life and I have to make really smart, snap decisions every single second of the game. Like I want my games to age me mentally and physically. Like I want stress lines from this game. But I'm also extremely bad at video games. Like I'm probably the worst you've ever met based on the amount of effort I put in. Like somebody who's never played the game before might pick it up and beat me, even though I make every decision right, for a variety of reasons. One of them is anytime there's a luck based aspect in the game, like a random number generator or something, I'm getting the bad end. I have terrible luck, and also for some reason, no matter how hard I try, I'm just not good. Angie's the exact opposite. You know, she's like casual gamer. Like she said, she's not hardcore. She doesn't want anxiety. But anytime she does play a game that's supposed to be hard, she breezes through it. She's an amazing gamer just naturally. Whatever it is that I don't have, she has it. So her saying it's not that hard is maybe not to be trusted as much, but also me saying it is super hard. Who knows? I'm not
Also
good at
not to
games.
be trusted.
So your real experience, always think it's going to be 50-50 between where we're at. It's going to be dead in the middle, somewhere in between.
Well, it's been compared to games like Zelda, so I think if people play that, they will like this one.
You know, that's a really good. If you liked the more recent, like open world Zeldas, like was it Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, those games, I could see it. If you liked Mario Odyssey, Mario Galaxy, those types of games, like the new Mario's, I could see you liking this. Keep in mind though, I've played all of those games I just listed. This game is harder than them for me. For me, this game, and it's not intuitive. Like beating the bosses in this game, the patterns, because that's what all video gaming, like beating a boss is recognizing the patterns and exploiting the patterns that the AI in the game uses. The AI in this game doesn't signal out its intentions to it, because that's what I'm doing. Like when I say like anxiety inducing strategic decision making all the time, I am talking about my ability to recognize and exploit patterns. And in this game,
Hmm.
the recognition of the AI patterns harder to see and adjust to, harder to observe and adjust to is the way I'd phrase it.
I would agree with that just because it's not like a lot of games you're playing it for the first time, but you kind of know what you need to do. In this one, you have to like think about it a little bit more. I think it might be I still don't think it's like necessarily hard. Like I still think it's a pretty relaxed game, but you do have to put more thought into things that might come naturally in other games. It's not as intuitive as other games.
That's the Angie take. The Chad take is keep your laptop or your phone or whatever you use to access the internet up next to you at all times so that you can Google how to beat certain levels, because you're going to have to. Like for her, it's her saying it's not super intuitive is me saying it is nearly impossible to figure out on your own. Google the answers. That's where I'm at. If I was an 11-year-old kid pre-internet, like if I was a super young kid with no smartphone, I would have never gotten through this game. It's extremely difficult and it's hard to figure some things out. And I feel like there could be a few more useful like reminders. Maybe if they made one of the little mini things, or just a few of them.
That guide you.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but I need my handheld a little bit more than this game was willing to do.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
could see that.
Yeah, of course you could. You're the one who'd have to be holding my hand because you're actually good at this type of stuff.
Well, no, I would just like the thing is like I'm like you said, I'm really casual about it. So all I do in most games is like get on the game and I run around and click on stuff. And that's how I figured things out. But I'm not even like I haven't completed the game yet. So
Got it. So I'm gonna give the game ranking out of 10 in three categories and then an overall. So in terms of aesthetics, out of 10, I'm going to say 9 out of 10. In terms of story, just story and character, I'm going to say 5 out of 10 because to me, the main character kind of sucks. They're just not a very interesting character, not somebody I really felt attached to. And honestly, I've seen some other people say that the side characters and the other people you interact with in the game, they're more expressive and the spirits and all that. I didn't really care about them either. This plot was a weak point in this game for me. Did not like it, so 5 out of 10 there. And for actual gameplay, I'm going to give it another 5 out of 10. I think the gameplay was all right, but it just, once again, super hard, not intuitive. Once you get the hang of it, it's a little more fun. Like Angie said, it can be relaxing, but the relaxation is more on the aesthetic, I think, and the way the game is set up, visually, as opposed to the actual gameplay experience. The gameplay experience could be an anxiety-inducing mess. It could be my type of game if they change the background. Honestly, this is low-key, this is Pixar Dark Souls. This is Pixar Elden Ring. This is super hard, crazy, fight for your life type of game with like pretty nice big heads and big anime eyes. So
That's like perfect.
yeah, for Angie, that is literally Angie's perfect game and my worst nightmare. So for me, overall rating, I'm going to give it a 6.3 out of 10. Angie, you?
I would give it a 8.
8 out of 10.
I just like it. If it's aesthetically pleasing, I like it.
All right, you got it. You heard it here. If you are more interested in visuals than you are to story or cohesive, easy to understand, intuitive gameplay, this is probably the perfect game for you. But if you're like me and all of that is not really your forte, it's an all right game. Once again, I did have some fun playing it, but the story was not great for me, and the gameplay did not play to my strengths, which I have very few of, sadly, in terms of gaming. Well, thank you for joining us again. Also, thank you, Angie, for being my co-host here. I really appreciate you. I do hope you all enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.